Welcome everyone to round number 3 in Tier 3, and today, or tonight I guess, we are in Singapore for round 3. I'm joined by Sam Steed. Welcome Sam Steed. Who is that who just left the session? I think someone just left the session, or something was said on the bottom, maybe someone retired. How are you doing, Sam Steed?
I'm doing fine. Hope everyone else is doing well watching. It's a pleasure to join you in the commentary box. For boy, it's going to be a chaotic race here. One highlight to mention is that Rap Lucas's dad is racing and has gone up to second, as I say.
Yeah, I mean, with seeing the name Rappalucas, you would expect, oh, Rappalucas, the Tier 1 champion last season. Oh, well, we got some history today, for sure. We have a lot to mention. I'm actually going to mention the stuff I'm going to mention to get out of the way. GSR Silent, are you in the party here with us? See you there? Let me see. Alright, hello. Make sure you include your audio. I want to talk to you about Silent Designs for a minute because we talked earlier this week about Silent Designs being more involved in the league, and I'm going to mention it during the stream since I want to get this out of the way first. Talk to us about Silent Designs, about what's going to go on for the next few races. We're going to reveal it here about the sponsorship. We already said your sponsor, Silent Designs, that does the merch and stuff for the league, is getting more involved. But how much more involved? Yeah. Explain to the viewers.
We are going to start sponsoring Alpha in the next couple of races. Basically what's going to happen is we're going to be giving a percentage of profit to Alpha, and that money will be going towards upgrading streams and upgrading content for all of you.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great thing to mention, and I think that's a great thing, and a lot of people did not expect for this. You know, in the first place, we mentioned your store, Silent Designs. A lot of recognition from the Instagram, the YouTube. I mean, a lot of recognition, but now it's starting to get even better and more recognition. How do you look at this as the future for Silent Designs? Because you have the merch already, and you have that stuff that people have been buying, but now it's kind of not necessarily, you know, as much on the site because of the COVID-19. It's a little bit on hold for some of the stuff, but you still have some of the stuff already on there, like the phone cases and some of the stuff. Explain to everyone who's watching what's going on, and glad to have you here, by the way.
So we're still going to be selling a lot of product. Well, our stickers and phone cases just now, up until probably the end of this month, and then we'll have most products back. But we'll have our skins and controllers for Alpha coming out in the coming weeks, so look at that.
Yeah, it's definitely something to mention. Now, I want to ask you, because you're a Tier 2 driver here, and I gotta tell you, you won in Abu Dhabi. You set everything up around that time. You had everything scheduled. You were very well planned out. You got your wheel back this weekend. You were on pad last week. How do you look forward to Tier 2?
I'm looking forward to it. Singapore is one of my favourite tracks actually, so it'll be fun. Hopefully it dries out, but I don't think it will, so
yeah.
A lot of fun now.
We're lucky for the Tier 3 race today, though. Yeah, no, thank you for joining us for now. You can stay in the party. You can mute your mic. No, thank you for joining us. Either way, no, glad to have you. And no, I mean, that's something great to mention, because Silent Designs being more involved. Silent Designs was just kind of came in at halfway through the season. And we said, oh yeah, merch for the champion would be out, that stuff. That's kind of been delayed because the COVID-19 stuff. That's kind of been delayed with some people who were the champion last season. But still, we got that set up, and we got that. So, I mean, that's all good that we're doing this stuff like this. And now we're extending it even more, and I'm happy to have you join us today. In the booth, at least, to talk to us about that. We have a yellow flag. That's JB Smooth off the racetrack. Sam Steed, you were just in an event, JSE versus GSR. Some drivers who compete in this league were here. Chevy Giant does go to the top. How hard is a track like this in Singapore to be able to get it right and not make mistakes?
Well, it's just a tight track, especially Sector 3, going under the bridge and all of that. I've seen a lot of people going to the wall at various different places. I think it was Lyrical going to the wall at the entry of the under the bridge, and I've just seen a lot of crashes and incidents from people so far. So it's going to be interesting. People just need to keep it out of the ball if they want a good result today. It's as simple as that.
Now, it originally was going to rain for this race, but Singapore kind of trolled us with the weather because we go based off real life weather. It kind of trolled us this weekend. And now that weather changed kind of at last minute, and it was like, well, we're not gonna rain for you. Well, now it's cloudy in Singapore, and this is the way it goes. Sam is a robot. Okay, well, hopefully that's fixed. Maybe you can unplug and plug your back mic on, English. Maybe you can unplug and plug your mic back in, Sam, so it doesn't do that for the mixer stream, hopefully. I don't know, because it does that sometimes, but we'll figure it out. Either way, yeah, it was looking like it was gonna be a wet race, here. Somewhat of a wet race, maybe light rain, but, no, I mean, the thunderstorms kind of held off, and it's now going a few hours later, because it is, Singapore is 12 hours ahead of America, and with UK time, with, United Kingdom, it's about 7 hours ahead, so, basically, with the way it is, I'm sure you plugged your mic back in now, but, with the way it is, with Singapore, it's 7 hours ahead, UK, and 12 hours ahead of America. Well, with the way it is, it's basically what, like almost 4 a.m. for people in Singapore, and the rain kind of held off to about 7, 8 a.m. So I think we were very lucky with this. But right now, I want to say this: you better be expecting a tier 2 wet race at least, because every time we've seen the wet conditions happen, it's always been in the tier 2 races or tier 2 qualifying sessions. We've always had it there. Just Dylan Boy does retire from the session already. And, the championship leader already out of the set. Well, hold on. No, Chevy Giant, I think, is the championship leader. I'll check, just to make sure. I just want to make sure.
I think that was a manual retirement. He got damaged.
Whoa! Davis almost hit Zig coming to the line, coming to the pits. Whoa, that was mighty close.
He hit the ball earlier on in the lap, and I think that was just slamming into the wall deliberately. Oh, as the Ferrari goes into the wall under the bridge, I think that is Burning Man. Yes, it is.
Burning Man making his first ever league start and league racing. Dada Lucas at the top right now as it stands with Rappa Lucas's dad. We're gonna call it Dada Lucas. That's how it's gonna be called, because they don't have any different accounts. They're not going to use that. There's just going to be the same account they use. So, obviously pretty cool to see him racing. He does some other league races in some of the Polish leagues that with other people. I know Pluto, he knows that league. He's in the chat right now, Pluto, one of the ARL admins. So, I mean, it's pretty cool to see Dada Lucas come and race here today. I mean, considering he did some qualifying laps around Italy last season for him, just to be there and kind of get the running in for the car that he did. And Rappa Lucas took over in the race with the struggle he had in the race with the amount of screen freezes he had and that other stuff. But heading into the championship today, hopefully Silent or Sam, one of you are checking points or schedule with me. Last week, we saw Chevy Giant take a win as Mafia goes to the top. We saw Chevy Giant take a win in Tier 3 last week ahead of Goggle Saw and Just Dylan Boy. And Just Dylan Boy leads the points by 4 points over Chevy Giant, along with over race gap to Hissy, Florian Foley, and Quinn Half, all behind really, really close.
Yeah, it's looking quite competitive at the top so far this season. It's been an interesting start. I mean, the first race was pretty, I'm not going to say easy for Justin Boy, but he just coasted away from the field. But Bahrain, he got given a challenge by Google and I think it was Chevy Giant.
Yep. Yeah, definitely was a tough one for Just Dylan Boy, because when you have that much competition on your back, you don't always know what to do. You don't always know. Oh, Just Dylan Boy's left the session.
Oh.
Speaking of him, commentator's curse. Can you re-invite him back? I'll try it again.
Yes.
Well, some retirements here. Florian Foley, a lot of people have retired right now, but it's a tough track for sure. I'm going to go over the ones to watch, or the guys who are making their first starts today in a minute. Let me just see a message. Okay, either way, here are some of the guys making their first start. King Lee Mafia, technically his first start. It's his first start since Britain last season. He came English comes back to the league and comes in Tier 3 and leading the results right now, with him at the top. Dada Lucas making his first ever start in P2. Behind that, you have Zig Starburst's first start of the season, first time since Germany. Burning Man making his first ever league racing start today. He's watched the streams, he's kind of dodged some fun races before, but now it's his turn in a full-time ride to make a start in Singapore. Now, behind that, you have Trevi for the first time since last season. He's making a start. Trevi already out of the session back in 19th. Fire King also not making his first start, but he is back there, back in P20 after he disconnected from the session. Now it's Chevy Giant to the top again.
Chevy Giant, rapid time. He's 6.5 tenths faster than King V Mafia. They're gonna have to chase that time down. That's a rapid one from him.
Yeah, again, I'm gonna watch from Dada Lucas here because I know I've got some biasism in this one. You could call me biased for this one for sure, but I just want to watch what he's able to do because I've not really seen. Hold on, let me rephrase that. I've seen his dad race, but I've never commentated his dad racing. I've only raced his dad once, back in Apex Racing Series when that was a thing, and we could definitely forget about that. But in the first place, with all that, I raced his dad. It was a great Battle of Britain. We were going back and forth at it. That was when I was slow, but still, I mean, hey, we could still kind of reflect back on that as Davis goes up to P4 in the mediums.
Yeah, it's probably, if he was on softs, he would be challenging Chevy Giant, because I think the delta time's about 1.3 to 1.5 seconds between the two tires. So yeah, that's a very good lap from him on the mediums to split Dan Lucas and Hissy.
Yes, so there are left in this session 12 drivers left in the session, with 20 drivers in the race. The first time Tier 3 has a full grid. Within 3 races, we already have a full grid, but it took last season 4 race weekends to have a full grid. It was actually like 7-8 races if you consider, because there was the sprint race, the feature race in Tier 2 last season. A lot of guys from Tier 2 do return to this tier, and now Mafia, one of the Tier 2 drivers from last season, also returns to this tier, comes back to the league, and he's currently running second. It messaged me, boom baby, as in being on pole right now, but now that kind of changed, as that's him not doing as well, being just behind. As that is Burning Man out of the session, manually retiring.
Cheeky corner cut there in turn 1 and 2 from Dada Lucas, but it is regular and you can take advantage of that. But let's see what his first sector is. He's a 10th up in his own time, so he's doing
there
well.
He is,
He probably learned from Rapper on track limits. He probably taught him some of the track limits.
I mean, I'll be fair. Rapper Lucas has done really good with the track limits in Tier 1. And he's actually gained a lot of positions off of track limits in Tier 1 last season and definitely other tiers from this season. But, you know, I mean, it works out. By the way, if anyone wonders what the penalty was, since we did not mention it during the stream last time out, Rapper Lucas was penalized with a 10-second time penalty along with 3 seconds from another incident last week. On the last lap, and on that little 2 to go restart. That caused Rapper Lucas to go back to P10, and that got Polo God his first podium in ARL since the last time out, and Dada Lucas being blocked by Lyricaloo.
Oh, he's hit the ball there too. Definitely chucking that car in. It's right on the edge. I think he's very close to hitting the barrier. There's no limit rounds here if you get it perfect.
Dada Lucas gets a little bit of last corner, but comes to the line. P2.
Oh, one tenth of Chevy Giant. Good luck there from him. King V Mafia stop. King
next one.
King V Mafia is 4 tenths up on his own time, so this could see him maybe jump Dada Lucas and possibly challenge Chevy Giant if he gets a really good final sector.
Raptor to the line. It's not going to be enough, but hey, he improves his position to P8. And now Mafia to the line. Tier 2 to Tier 3 comes to the line. It is not enough for pole. It's just close for P2, but just not enough for that pole position. That one spot he needed. That's kind of 2 spots, actually, but needed 1 spot to beat Rapper Lucas. Now to the line. It is Hissy this time. ahead of Zig Starburst. Hissy to the line. Hissy gains a little bit of time, and Zig goes off, retiring from the session. That means Chevy Giant is on pole in Singapore. I almost said Bob Rain. I did not want to do that.
You
Well,
can really see.
This is the first time ARL has back-to-back night races. Let's go over the results. What were you going to say before I was going to go over the results, Sam?
You can see there's a spread between the fields. There's 1.2 seconds between first and fourth. I think the front three are looking very fast. But then Davis is on the mediums and he would be closest. So I think Davis could be a real threat right at the end of the race on the front three here.
So, top 5, let's go over that. Chevy Giant on pole, Data Lucas in second, King V Mafia from Tier 2 last season in third, Davis, his best finish was 4th or 5th last season, he starts 4th, Hissy is in down in P5. Now, let's go over our ones to watch. We're gonna go over the ones to watch once the formation lap gets done. So, Sam Steve, we'll go over 3 drivers. If you don't know how this is done, I know you watch the stream.
Yeah,
So just make sure 3 different drivers that we do with the grid. The drivers on the grid. There are 3 different drivers on this grid for the field, and we choose them, the 3 favorites, but we choose 3 different favorites. Some people who co-commentate forget that sometimes, but hey, I mean, you could easily improve that, but I feel like it's fair enough for, I guess, myself to go first, I guess, since I feel like I have more knowledge about these guys, Tier 3, than I think a lot of people do. I know a lot of these guys a lot better than others do. So let me go over the ones to watch. I've seen how almost everyone here has raced before, at least once before today. So let's go over the ones to watch. 15 laps in Singapore. We have, look at the medium runners. 11th on back is starting on mediums. Holy crap. Okay, so, we have crashing in the back already, based off the formation line. But either way, this is what we have. For my favorites, I'm going to obviously, the first one you have to go with, Data Lucas here, P2. He's raced many leagues before. He knows the way it goes. And Data Lucas, I've had a battle with him myself. Fairly clean and fairly fair. The way it is with him, is he going to be able to take advantage of the start? How's his start going to be? You know what? Father-son duo. Can Data Lucas get himself a win and be the first father-son duo who's won races? I mean, you could do the same thing. You could say the same thing about Nico Rosberg and Kiki Rosberg, or KK. Same thing, right? Either way, down in P... Who was I going to go to? All right, well, down in P17, Quinn House. He started back there last week, and the thing is, he had a great charge of the field with, I believe it was 15th to 5th, if I'm correct, and he was able to charge his way up to that position starting from back there. Now it's 17th he starts. And Chevy Giant, one of the clear favorites, he starts very well today and on pole. Second in the championship, he's far ahead of Just Dylan Boy. Is he the big one to watch? Who is he going to battle this race? How's it going to go? Let's all see. Now, your turn, Sam Steve, for the other 3 to pick from.
I think we've got to go with King V Mafia. He seems very close to Chevy Giant and Dada Lucas in quality. There's only 2/10 separating the 3 of them, so I think them 3 could be having a battle as much as possible. It's a bit of a track where you can't overtake, but you can try that. My second one to watch is Davis. He's on the medium tyres and he's in P4. He was about 1.3 seconds off with Chevy Giant in quality, which is a mega job on the mediums. And my final one to watch is down in P7, Just Dylan Boy. The winner from the first round. I think he can improve on that position if he keeps clean.
A lot to watch here in Singapore, especially the starts. It's not the biggest run in the turn 1, but it's one of the runs where you just don't want to mess up. That right side, well, the left side for us, is the advantage, I think. And you better be ahead into turn 1 or else you're going around. I've seen many starts here where people just mess it up. And just a little bit gets you out of the race or gets you making a mistake. 5 red lights are about to come upon us here in Singapore. Street circuit for the first time in ARL. Here we go. It's lights out and away we go. I think there might have been a jump start at the back, but I think they're pretty clean. They are 4 wide to the middle field. Did Mafia jump start, but there is damage. Data Lucas did pick up some damage there from Chevy Giant, and back throughout the field, they keep it decently clean. Not many spins. We have Burning Man, the only one being around already.
Kingpin Mafia got a great launch from P3. I think the front 2 were very slow to launch off, and they were very lackluster. Yeah, Dan Lucas had damage on the left-hand side, so he's going to struggle. We'll probably have to pit this lap.
Midfield battle, Bones and Aaron Ocon going side by side into the Russell Grosjean corner where they collided back in 2019. And now there's a yellow flag at the back. It is Lyric Lou or Burning Man, one of the two. And now side by side again, Bones and Aaron Ocon for P12.
Lyric Lou has got no wing here. I think he went into the barrier at the Grosjean and Russell corner.
Oh, Aaron Ocon down the inside. Zig and Raptor make contact, and I think it's Aaron Ocon who spun around. Raptor is in a car park with Lost Trevi, I think that is, and it is Lost Trevi. Zig got some damage from that, and now that's going to affect them. But for the race lead, Chevy Giant is right behind King V Mafia, and Dada Lucas challenges him, but behind on those mediums, the highest runner is Davis 2K7.
I think
throwing damage
Foley,
from someone.
Yeah.
Someone got throwing damage there through the midfield.
I think that was the Florian Foley there with damage. Yeah, he's got both wing end plates missing.
Oh,
so.
more damage.
Ooh.
Trevi and Luke
Six
Lou.
starburst spins.
And there's another one. Yeah, like you said, Zig Starburst and Burning Man goes right through him. Remember, no safety car on in Tier 3. There was rumors that it could change, but now for the race lead, King V Mafia going side by side with Chevy Giant, and he gets ahead again. He was right behind, but now DRS is not enabled just yet, but Chevy Giant going side by side with him through the fast right-hander, and Dada Lucas comes to challenge down the inside with damage, and he is going to stay behind.
Dylan Boy's just got ahead of Davis on that straight. I think the initial difference from soft to mediums is showing here, but Davis will show his hand in the final stint on low fuel and on the softer tyres.
That race lead still pumps up into the hairpin. One of the action zones we saw in the hot lap this weekend, or the hot lap, I apologize, the weekend preview, that's my fault. Either way, King V Mafia doesn't get the best exit out of there, but look at Chevy Giant with the more traction that he needs. ERS is better for Chevy Giant's Mafia, already in low ERS.
Quinn Half has gone from P17 to P11 after these first two laps, and he's looking for a move on JB Smooth. He backs out of him, but JB Smooth does have wing damage, so it might be easy prey for Quinn.
Well, that race lead still... Oh, there's a spin!
Oh,
there's a spin, and it's a Red Bull! He is around, and that's in front of his teammate. His teammate has to watch him go by, and he is just waiting for the cars to go by now.
And Dada Lucas has got the fastest lap of the race. He's
takes it
troubling Chevy Giant. Even with wing damage around such a downforce key track, that is
For the race lead.
amazing from him.
Chevy Giant was making a look at it from King V Mafia. It just wasn't enough for an overtake. But now he comes back at it with DRS this time. DRS being enabled, and down the back straight they have. Into the little bridge area, and now the two the left-hander and then the right-hander. Dada Lucas challenges down the inside, and now to the hairpin.
Chevy Giant's got damage too, and I don't think Mafia has, so he's got the advantage out of these three. Lewis is,
Look who's also calling for this. Stone Boy.
Yeah, exactly.
Right there. Bones is close to Lewis for P6. These two have been close all season, considering they were close last race. Bones being in top of that midfield, and probably the bottom of the top of the field, to be honest, if that's even better enough. Lewis being in that midfield a lot of the season, same with Quinn Half. So how did they challenge this? A lot of drivers you've seen already have pitted. At least half of the field has pitted. Yellow flag, that's Lyric Lou out.
GSR Raptor makes a move around the outside at the end of sector 1 on Fire King. So he's going to go after JB Smooth now and let's see if he can get past.
Only one retirement from this race so far. We've only had 1 or 2 retirements this season from Tier 2 or Tier 3. Oh, Mafia loses it out of the race lead, and it's had damage, and he is going to lose it out of the race lead, and there he goes.
That is
Oh my
heartbreaking for him.
goodness. And look who takes the race lead. Dada Lucas, Bones and Lewis side by side.
I think
Another
the
yellow
real
flag, a
winner
car
out,
park. Again, Burning Man and Fire King, another car park there was. And Mafia may have lost it again, but he's coming into the pits this time. And battle for P2, the two championship rivals, Chevy Giant, Dylan Boy, back at it again. Here we go on the bridge.
Yeah, I think Chevy Giant's got damage, which is making him break early. So is David Lucas, and just Dylan Boy has gained a lot. And Lewis has gone into the barrier at the road on the Russell corner. He's just outbroken himself.
That hairpin is so tricky to get right. He's going to get passed by Quinn Half. Quinn Half, P17 to P6 already. And not to mention, Bones also P16 to P5. With Trevi P19 to P8.
Just Dylan Boy's getting trouble by Chevy Giant here. Coming down into the end of Sector 2. Not sure if he's going to make a move, but he's struggling under braking a lot with that wing damage. But now just Dylan Boy can push and look ahead to Dada Lucas, who has slight damage, but not as bad as Chevy Giant.
Yeah, Dada Lucas actually has damage, but right now, considering he's in clean air this time, this actually benefits him. So, you see, I mean, yeah, the softs are pretty garbage, as you see. The medium, it's this 3 soft runners, and 1, 2, 3, and then the medium runners down there below them. Chevy Giant coming into the pits this time. Is this an undercut?
He's going to have to change his wing, though. So, this is going to be a little bit of a slower stop for him.
Williams
No,
right
it's
now with
also
the most constructors points as of right now, but look at P2.
Well, Davis looking on the inside, turn 4. Is he going to get it? He probably will, because just Dylan Boy doesn't have DRS, and Davis has a lot more tyre life compared to just Dylan Boy. They do keep it clean though, which is good. So the medium runners are really starting to show their hand in this race now, because the soft runners are really struggling. It's a bit like Bahrain. The soft guys will go off very early, and then the medium runners will start going in.
I thought Davis was going to make a pass there or try to attempt one. The hairpin might be his best chance in the next few corners, but look at this. Just Dylan Boy staying ahead, but Bones is right behind these guys. Davis on the medium tires already having the gap he does, but with just Dylan Boy having damage too, or not having damage, just struggling with the softs compared to Dada Lucas, this doesn't help him, because Dada Lucas, even though he has damage, is actually pulling away, and that damage might actually be helping him. But we have Davis behind P3, who last season had probably 3 good chances at a podium, but really lost it.
There's a yellow flag.
Oh, wait, who'd he hit? Who'd he hit? Oh, King B Mafia side by side with JD Smoke and loses it.
That's the second time
It's gone from good to bad to even worse for King B Mafia. Not even good at all. And Dada Lucas pits, but just Dylan Boy is also pitting. Going very slow. What's his issue? He's going very slow. What's happened here? Dylan Boy's going to lose a lot of time. And
I think it might have just been...
has got the fastest lap, too. Oh, wow. Go ahead. Sorry.
I think I might have just been going cautious into the pit lane. He does have wind damage, Dylan Boy. I didn't notice that. But Dad Lucas does come out of the pits. So, I don't know what to expect now, because the ones battling them two were on mediums, so they could do anything now, really.
Dad Lucas did fix the damage, so...
Yeah. Quinn House doing a mega job there. He's only 2.9 seconds off the lead, which is amazing from P17.
Chevy Giant by CJ Pants. This is a change in P6 for those two. And Chevy Giant, yeah, he repaired his damage. Dada Lucas did not, and that made a big difference. You know, I've noticed this because compared to last time I raced Dada Lucas, I don't know if it's... Oh, we have a battle for the race lead. Bones and Davis. Deeks fan, sorry, changes gamer tag to Bones, so that's... We're going to call it Bones. It's as simple as that, just to make it fair and just to make it better. Either way, no, Dada Lucas, the way it seemed back in, he does pass Chevy. The way it seemed with Dada Lucas back the last time I raced him was the race pace, once he got into a rhythm, It's kind of like Nufsy Ryan from last season. Once he got into a rhythm, he knew what he was doing. With this wing damage, yeah, he's losing time, but how is this going to shape up compared to the other drivers? As we do see a battle for the race lead once again.
Well, with Dan Lucas, Chevy Giant is gaining quite a lot. He's got a lot more grip. At the start of this lap, it was like 4 seconds, and it's already gone down to just into the 2 second sort of zone. So, I think Chevy Giant could overtake Dan Lucas in the next few laps.
Oh, we see contact B12 on back. Look at this amazing battle. A 4-car train in Singapore.
Dan Lucas has just got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. That does give the advantage to the people around him. So, Bones, Davis, Quinhouse, and Chevy Giant, and Justin Boy.
JB Smooth has some damage now. Hissy does get by. That's for P11. Aaron O'Con and Hootie Hick are going to have to challenge.
Oh,
And there's a yellow flag. It's flying fully.
Spun.
Aaron O'Con down the inside of Hootie Hick for P14. Great midfield battle like we saw last season in Singapore in 2019 in real life. It was a great midfield battle all throughout the race. We see one right now. JB Smooth really struggling, but Hootie Hick does get DRS. JB Smooth doesn't. They're side by side.
Yeah, that was good team tactics, but JB Smooth does let Aaron Lockham through. Is that the best? But then Aaron Lockham does have to pit one more time. He can't take 12 laps.
When do Bones and Davis pit? When do they try to pit? Bones is pitting this time. Does Davis react to that? Davis does not. Davis actually stays out. And, wow, is that even the right strategy call? Because you see Quinn Halp also staying out too. Is it too early for Bones? We saw the undercut was not even that good in Bahrain in this 25% race last time out.
I don't think taking the soft 7 laps is very good because the front runners only went like 4 or 5 laps. I don't think they make it, you know, and I think they die right at the end. So, advantage for Davis and
Burning Man
Quinn Halp.
out of his first league race.
Yeah, it's a tough one for him. It's an awful track to start your league racing journey, but you can only look onwards and upwards now, and it's obviously going to get easier since it's one of the most difficult tracks on the calendar.
Next week we do go to Australia, and we go to Singapore for Tier 2 and Tier 1 this weekend and Saturday and Sunday. So don't miss the action there because that one should be a good one. We have a yellow flag and a CJ.
Pats him to the wall. He spun him. Tapped him.
That ain't gonna go over too well.
No. It was getting quite hairy. Bones was tapping the rear.
Oh, we have another battle.
Spun.
Sorry to cut in. Lewis and Davis, or not Lewis and Davis, Lewis and Raptor. These two try to go wheel to wheel there. It wasn't going to work. Trevi lets by Dylan Boy. Dylan Boy, if he wants to keep his championship lead, he needs to attack and protect. If he wants to have the chance to be able to keep that championship lead. I got that from a meme. I'm not trying to copy it, but I just realized that now.
Aaron Ocon is looking for a move on Hootie Hick. But he has the extra grip, but his tires are just going to go off really soon. There's 5 laps on softs. It's not a great idea, really. As Davis
so easy to get damage. Yep.
Into the pits.
Yep, right there. There you go. Where's Dada Lucas going to come out compared to these guys? Dada Lucas will have the race lead, but you remember, he has damage, and Chevy Giant also is catching him, and Dada Lucas also has a penalty. Keep that in mind. So, Chevy Giant, does he have any warnings? He only has the 1 warning he has. Dada Lucas also has the penalty he has. Chevy Giant has the fastest lap right now.
Bones has got them, but also with a penalty of, well, there could be a penalty. Not saying that there will be, but he'll be investigated after the race. So this is not certain here, and his tyres will go off nearer to the end.
Is into a barrier, and it's stuck. I guess.
He doesn't seem to be moving.
King V Mafia might have left the session. If he left the session in Rage, that's definitely a DNR. He won't gain any positions from that if he left the session in Rage. I'm sure he did because of how his race is gone. But now Lewis Lewis Raptor, I keep mixing those two up. Those two go wheel to wheel, and Lewis gets by Raptor. Raptor tries it back down the inside.
Aaron Ocon has made a mistake here.
For P5, Quinn Half, Dylan Boy, it was close into the Singapore Sling, the old corner there from a few years back, and there goes Zig out of the race.
Oh,
Whoa,
Quinn House
Quinn!
locks up.
Right now, based off of what we're seeing, we're going to see a great battle for the race lead because Chevy Giant is behind Data Lucas, but what Data Lucas has to hope for is for Chevy Giant to be forced into a mistake at this point.
But then also we
Zig
do
is
have some soft runners in front, so this is all going to get mixed up right at the end.
Dylan Boy at the wall, Dylan Boy, damage.
Quinn's
Now look at
just
this
got
battle
to
for the race lead. Look at how it's shaping up to be. We have back and forth between these guys with DRS and not DRS. Now we have Data Lucas who has damage, and we also have Chevy Giant right now in this position. How does it go? Because Chevy Giant stays ahead in the championship. Dylan Boy also struggling. But now, for that race lead, Chevy Giant gaining and gaining on Rapalookas, but he doesn't have his ERS turned up. He's maybe saving. He might know he has a penalty if he's watching the stream. But, you know what? What if Chevy Giant picks up a penalty? What if he gets into trouble? He better push at this point. Well, Hissy, after trouble with Red Bull, they've took a point back for him. And now that battle for the race lead. Does Chevy Giant try to push it and take it to the limits, or does he try to just wait and see what happens with that 3 seconds? Does he, you know, have his tire life go bad? How does it go? What do you think, Simpson?
Well, I think he's now starting to push because he's put it into hot lap. I think he's just saving and then going to push and attacking nearer to the time. And Data Lucas doesn't have much ERS to compare. It's about 50% difference. So Chevy Giant does have the advantage on ERS if he can get into the DRS, that is. But he will obviously gain even not in the DRS.
Ooh, Chevy Giant cutting the corner there. Oh, Aaron Ocon's picked up a penalty, his teammate, but Chevy Giant does not have a warning for that. Obviously, there's... Oh, here we go for the race lead. Into turn 1. Chevy Giant gaining. He's going from a long... Well, not really a long way back, but a place you don't want to get. And now Rapalookas, or Data Lucas, I apologize, does keep that lead and does kind of get the position in the corner. Now, I'm curious about is... Yeah, if you corner cut, you know, the game allows it. It's regular corner cutting, but I'm just thinking here, we have a yellow flag. It's Fire King. Yeah, the game allows it, but if anyone wants to push for a penalty, that is allowed. You know, if you cut the corner by at least 4 tires, that's allowed. If you cut the corner, I'm not trying to, you know, be biased to say, oh yeah, penalize Chevy Giant. I'm just saying if people want it, if people find that as a big corner cut, add it to a warning for him. But right now, it is Chevy Giant 3/10 behind Data Lucas for this race lead, with 5 laps to go. And now it's running out of time for Bones and Davis to catch up. But will Bones be given a post-race penalty, and will this allow Davis or Quinn Half to take a podium? Bones has a warning, Davis has nothing, and Quinn Half has nothing.
Chevy Giant is gaining a lot, especially in Sector 3 from Data Lucas's damage. So I think last time was a bit of a stupid move to look down the inside because it lost him a good 3 to 4 tenths from doing that, and he could have been right on the back of them making a move down into the Anderson Bridge if he didn't do that.
Alright, I just said something funny in chat, but either way, Chevy Giant's gonna have DRS this time. He's saving the ERS for what he needs for a good lap. Look at the... just extending the track just a little bit there. Here comes Chevy Giant on Data Lucas into turn 1. Not enough, obviously, but will the exit of the corner help him? And now Data Lucas keeps that race lead, but with that damage is still holding on.
Data Lucas did go very defensive into T1, which was maybe unneeded, but kind of lost him a bit of time. But we'll see what happens on the straight.
I just want to respond to something in chat. No, that's not a tier 1 driver racing. I can confirm. I've already said before that was Rapalookas' dad, Data Lucas, racing for him. So it's not even like it's Rapalookas racing. I can tell when it would be Rapalookas racing. He'd probably be winning by like 3 seconds in 1 lap. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it would go. Yes, I did say Data Lucas because that's what we were calling him. But, you know, I mean, we kind of got that before the race, so we were calling him that, and we mentioned, that's what it was. Oh, okay, you're just, okay, I didn't know. Either way, Aaron O'Con is also looking to gain on JB Smooth for P13 in the back. But that race lead, Data Lucas needs to gain at least 2 more seconds to be able to keep that race lead.
It seems like Chevy Giant isn't going for it on the straight. He doesn't want to risk it. He seems to be saving and losing a lot on the straight because he knows about Dad Lucas's penalty. But he's gaining so much. If I was him, I'd just go for it. If there's an opportunity, go for it.
Oh, Raptor missed the corner. Now his chance at Lewis is probably over. Now, onto the front straight again. 3 laps to go in this race. And Chevy Giant gaining on Data Lucas into turn 1. That's the corner just a little bit. It's Alfa Romeo versus Williams. You know what? We actually saw a rivalry last week that we thought might continue into Tier 1. F1 driver Rap Lucas. Now it's Data Lucas and Chevy Giant and Alfa Romeo driver. And Rap Lucas's dad. So how does this shape up between these two? Alfa Romeo versus Williams. 2 team rivalries into turn 7, I think this is. They go. And now to the hairpin. Data Lucas stays ahead.
This time I do think he was pushing more on the straight because he did gain a lot more. He was a lot closer compared to last time. And Dan Lucas almost crashed into the barrier from probably understeer from the damage on the front of the car, and he is really struggling. Chevy Giant just needs to make the move at a good point.
Also, not to mention podium spot right now. Bones running in a podium position. He never got the chance. Data is a baby's first word. Yeah, there you go. Either way, the way it is with the podium spot. Bones had a chance to get some podiums last season, messed that up in USA, and messed it up in Italy when he had the chance to do so in the rainy conditions. Davis had a chance to get a podium at Austria, one of his best chances, along with a few other races that were standout races, and he has a chance to get a podium or challenge for it now. Also, Quinn Houff back there, in only his 3rd race, he's going to have a chance to take a podium by chance. And now, coming to 2 laps to go this time.
Davis seems to be gaining on Bones a lot more. The gap was reduced from like 1.5 on that lap down to now at least 7/10. So Davis seems to have a lot more pace. As I said, Bones' tyres will just start to fade at this point. Then start to fade more compared to Davis.
Turn 6. All right, I always get that wrong. I was just trying to think. I don't have a track map up right now. I don't remember the corners by heart necessarily, so it's not the best thing to know. So either way, coming to 1 lap to go this time. This race lead still stays pretty close. If you want a two over-there update for tomorrow's race, the way it looks is scattered thunderstorms as of right now, and it looks a mix between light rain and heavy rain as of right now. That could easily change because Asia weather wants to troll us, but either way, in the first place, that's the way it goes. So right now, Davis gaining on Bones, and Chevy Giant gaining on Data Lucas.
Yeah, Dad Lucas was really struggling in sector 2. He was just more to the inside of the corner. Chevy Giant had more momentum. Will he make a move on the final lap? I don't know. Or will he just keep it there? Because he knows he will have the win on the track. I don't know if any penalties will happen, but at the moment, he looks like he could probably have the win. Unless he makes a mistake.
Hold up. Things can easily change. Think about this. Remember Chevy Giant when he corner cut the little chicane there?
Yeah,
if
that's
people
what
want
I
that
said.
penalized, if people want that penalized, look at this. He has another warning from this past lap on lap 13. Now we come to the final lap this time. It is close between 1 and 2. This is the gap between 1 and 2 as we head into turn 1. 3
He's
tenths,
gonna go for it,
and
I think.
we go into turn 1. Now to turn 2, turn 3. And Data Lucas stays ahead, but here comes Chevy Giant back at it. Chevy Giant trying to challenge from 2.5 tenths back. Now we get to DRS.
I think Dad Lucas is going very defensive, and Chevy Giant isn't, and there's a yellow flag in sector 1, and JB Smooth is out. But is he going to go for it this time?
Get down the inside! He tried it, but he faked it. He did not go for it. Now, into the hairpin. He's going to go, maybe looking for a move. Data Lucas not going to get the best traction out of the corner. Now, staying ahead of Chevy Giant, and this battle for the race lead is one to watch. We didn't see this in Tier 3 last week. Now, Davis and Bones try to go side by side between P3 right now.
Will Davis going to throw it down the inside? No, he won't. There's...
Into the hairpin.
Chevy Giant could. This is probably one of his best chances. Onto the straight. Will he get it?
Will Chevy Giant be handed a post-race penalty from the incident earlier? People, if they want to report it, if they want to find out from the stream, fine. That can maybe change the result. But now heading into Sector 3, for the final time, we have Dada Lucas ahead of Chevy Giant. Davis trying to challenge for the podium and hits the barrier. And now, Chevy Giant getting on Dada Lucas for the final time. Here we go in Singapore. Dada Lucas came into this, and there's a little bump. There's a little bit of a bump.
No, that's
Chevy Giant loses traction.
I think there's only one more chance here, and it's that corner, and it's not looking very good. His tyres going, and Davis has got a penalty on the final lap and hit the wall. That could totally
Dada
ruin
Lucas
his
wins
race.
on track. Chevy Giant takes the win, but that is still going to be under review if people report the incident from earlier. Now for the podium, Davis trying on Bones, and not enough for Davis. Davis picked up a penalty. Davis's chance at a podium is running out, and now for P3, Bones gets ahead of Davis, and Quinn Health misses out. Oh no, he gets it. Just barely.
So that could be a podium with Bones' instant with CJ Pants. Lewis comes home in
Wow.
P6.
What a race we saw in our hands. Yellow flag.
Yeah.
Flooring Foley. All right, well, let's invite the front three, I guess. Dada Lucas makes history for the first father-son duo on the podium. Let's get Bones and you. Let's make sure they include their audio once they get in here. What a race that was! That was insane. All right, we got Chevy Giant in here, the race winner as of right now, and Hootie Hick does pick up a penalty. But we have. There you go. There you go, Bones.
That's the thing, bro. P16 to P, that's what I'm talking about, baby. Hey, good race, Chevy, good race.
Now let's see who joins us. Dada Lucas joins us. All right, let's go with Chevy Giant. Chevy Giant, you here? You gonna include your audio? I can't really hear him. I don't know if he's. All right, well, I'll interview Dada Lucas first since we don't hear Chevy Giant too well right now. Dada Lucas, is he there? We'll interview Dada Lucas first. Rappa, is he there? Hi, Chevy Giant. I hear you now. I'm gonna interview Lucas first, but an amazing race between you two. What a battle that was for the race win, wing damage, and just all sorts of things happening there. All right, let me get the results, and we'll get to a post-race interview with you three. We're having some troubles with here some people. Bones, I guess we'll talk to you first since we're having trouble with them. Bones, you lost your chance at a podium last season in Italy in the rainy conditions, and USA in the first ever Tier 2 race. Now in Tier 3, you get a podium. Try to keep it PG. Make sure your audio is included. How about that for a gamertag change? I think the first race with a gamertag change for you, or maybe the second, I don't know. And you take a podium now.
Oh my god, first of all, I gotta give a round of applause to Davis, man. He got me on my toes. I didn't even know he had a time penalty there. He's really quick there. I didn't even expect he could make a one lap fresher tires better than me, but I gotta give credit to him. And me and Quinn just battled our way through the field. We got third and fourth. Wait, damn, he got a time penalty. Oh my bad, sorry. But yeah, I'm glad. I feel like I'm lucky with this gamer tag now. At Bahrain, I could have had it, but you know, it is what it is.
Hey, you got your first podium in ARL. I remember the battles in HRL between you and Davis. The battles back and forth between you as teammates was insane. Now you two battle each other for a podium in ARL Tier 3. How do you feel about that? I know you great got credit to Davis, but I mean, you two battled before, and this is not the first time. This again is a great battle between you two we saw.
Yes, he's a young, quick driver. I love racing with him, man. I have nothing else to say, but I love racing with him. He always gets me on my toes. I may be quicker in the first part of the race, and you know that, but the second part of the race, he likes to reel people in. I realize he did that to me at Britain last year, and we had a hell of a battle, bro. Dude, he's good. Trust me.
I don't know what happened with CJ Pants. Do you want to talk about what happened there with you and CJ Pants?
I want to apologize. See, I had a run there, and when I had a run DRS open, I thought he was gonna cover the bottom, but he kind of covered the middle lane, and I was sneaking to his outside because I was wanting to go down the inside and turn 4, I think it is, and then he just stayed in the middle of the track, and I didn't even mean to hit him. I think it may have even bubbled him a little bit, but he just went turning, so I didn't even mean to do it. He just kind of hogged up space a little bit there.
Either way, do you feel you'll be penalized for that, or is anything will happen? What do you feel?
I think it's racing, honestly. I mean, I feel gutted for CJ because I think he would have got P4 there, but I don't know. I honestly hope not, and I don't think it wasn't intentional. I want to get that out of the way. I think it's just racing in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on what is P3. I hope that stays, but we'll figure it out. With that, I don't want to really see any changes in the order, but hey, we're gonna have to if we need to. Chevy Giant, you're there, right?
Yep.
Race win for you. 2 warnings it took. Dada Lucas with the penalty, and the way it went, you know, you kept battling him. You were nonstop on the bumper of his car, and you guys were back and forth. How did you feel about that battle, going back and forth the way you did?
It was a fun battle, but I couldn't really get to
Make
him
sure
because
audios
he
included in the
brakes
party
so-
are for the
It is.
podcast.
It was just, it was so hard to pass him because he braked early and it threw me off. And that's how I got damage earlier. Someone, I think it was, whoever was leading at the beginning of the race, he braked early and I got wing damage because he was
Mafia,
spinning
maybe?
everywhere. Yeah. That made me a little mad, so. Yeah, I knew he had a wing damage at the end of the race, and a time penalty, so I didn't really push for it. So.
Let's think about this. This was the first race with you being in a full-time ride. You've been in 3 different teams already. You know, I'm kind of surprised you weren't in a full-time ride before, but I've got to say, with how this looks like another repeat of Season 1 championship with Rappalucas. With the way it gone with Dada Lucas' son, Rappalucas, he was originally a reserve heading into preseason and got a preseason testing win and took a seat from there, and he was originally a reserve. You were originally a reserve heading into the season. You lead the championship right now. How do you feel in the future races about leading the championship as of right now by just kind of having the game for almost 2-3 weeks, right? I mean, something like that?
I guess right now we're just gonna keep doing the same thing every weekend, in and out. Just win, and win, and then win again. Then maybe get a second place finish and then win again.
Sam Steed, by the way, congratulations on the win. Sam Steed, do you have any questions for Chevy Giant?
I saw that well, Dad Lucas did have damage, but I'm kind of surprised that you didn't make the move. Why didn't you exactly make it?
The one time I make a move, I was just too loose. The tires were gone.
Yeah.
My rear tires, the temperatures were a little higher than I wanted them to be, so I didn't have as much grip. But if he repaired his wing damage, I think I would have got it.
I personally think if you didn't make a mistake into one of the corners, you could have got him at the final corner, maybe. Did you see that as a possibility?
No, I was losing grip everywhere at the last lap, just pushing too hard.
Okay, congrats on the win.
Now, P2, Dada Lucas, Rappa, I know you were just on the mic just a minute ago. Are you there, Dada Lucas?
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Hello, can you
hey,
hear me?
great battle with Chevy Giant, man. Great battle. Amazing for you to get this opportunity. Doing it just like your son, getting the podium like he always does last season. That's what got him consistent in the season last season for that championship. You took the win on track, and you took P2 off of penalties. How happy were you to have the battle you did today? make sure your audio is included, by the way, for the stream.
First of all, I really enjoyed the race. First race in this league. We'll start with quali. Didn't go to plan. The plan was to be on pole, but I started second or third, can't even remember. Not a bad start, but got my front wing broken on the first or second corner by Alpha, I think. And then I was behind two guys who were fighting for the position, so I think one of them broke his wing, so I managed to overtake him after a couple of laps. And then after another few laps, the guy in front of me spun, so I took the lead since then. And obviously I made the strategical mistake. When I went to the pit lane, I decided not to fix my front wing. And yeah, I was struggling with that for the rest of the race. Wasn't able to pull away, and the guy in front was catching me every lap. But yeah, really enjoyed the race and really happy with the result.
Yeah, I've got to ask you, that battle we saw was insane. I know you could definitely say yes to this, but if it wasn't for the penalty, do you think you still would have held off Chevy Giant for the win?
Yeah, I think so. He was closing every lap, but I didn't feel like he's got the pace to overtake. Obviously, it's not an easy track to overtake. It's easier to defend on this track, like on this track. Easier than any other track, maybe apart from Monaco. So I was quite comfortable with my defending, and I think I would hold on to the position. But obviously, I got the penalty, and still happy with the second place.
Now, will we see you in any future races for the league, running in any Tier 3 races again, or even in any Tier 2 races if possible? Will we see you race again?
Oh yeah, really looking forward for the next race. I think it's Australia, I guess.
Yep, Australia, yep.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. And as I said before, I really enjoyed it today. I will try to get one better next time.
Yeah. Congratulations on P2. Sam Steed, do you have any questions for Dada Lucas?
How exactly did you get damage on the front wing?
Yeah, it was on the first or second corner on that section. I got hit by the guy on the right hand side. I think it was Alpha or Mercedes, one of them. I think it was a racing accident. I think it was just a racing accident, very tight corner with a high speed. So it happens in racing.
I overshot the corner and you followed me in there, and then when I tried to get back on track, you were there as well.
Yeah, it's just racing accident, I would say.
Congrats on your P2. Hopefully you can obviously race more times this season.
I
Yeah,
hope
it'd be
so.
great to
Thank
see
you
you again. I'd love to see you again.
Yeah, good
Father-son
job.
duo.
I'm actually
See you
pretty
later,
impressed for a father.
Hey, first father-son duo in ARL. We saw great battles, and kind of repeating the history of Rappalucas with the battles he always has with other drivers. Williams versus Alfa Romeo, like we saw last week. Hey, if you're still there, Dada Lucas, Rappalucas commentating tomorrow with himself in Tier 2. Wish him luck, I guess, right?
Yeah, sure. Okay,
All
see you
right,
later,
well,
guys.
that's...
Cheers.
Yep, later. Hey,
Maybe.
thank you.
Can I say one thing real quick?
Either way... Hey, what's up?
Maybe I should have tried overtaking him instead of saving my ERS for like the past 5 laps before the final lap.
Yeah.
I have
You
like
had the chance to do
100%
something like
ERS.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Hey, it was a great battle with you and him. A great one to see for sure. And that was probably the best Tier 3 battle we've seen so far. And maybe the best battle for the win we've seen yet this season, considering what we've seen so far. Either way, that's really about it. Sam Steed, anything about this race you want to talk about before we end the stream?
That front battle, it kind of reminds me of Vettel and Alonso in 2010 here. Vettel couldn't get past, but he was following Alonso. It was exactly like that, in my opinion.
Yeah, either way, yeah, that race kind of reminded me a little bit more of with with the start,
Yeah.
hold up, Rapper Lucas. With the start, with, the front two having a bad start and Mafia taking the lead, that reminded me of 2017, but without the crashes. Because that, obviously Raikkonen from P3, he gained up to P1 with that, and yeah. I see Rapper Lucas, you're here now. What race that was with your dad and Chevy Giant. Hey. Is he there? I don't know. He was there for a second, I heard him. Either way, oh, there you are. Alright. Yeah, great battle between your dad
Wait,
and
give me a
Chevy
moment.
Giant. Great to see. Alright, alright.
He's gonna watch the race real quick to see the battle.
Yeah, so thank you very much for giving my dad the opportunity to drive. Much appreciated. He really enjoyed it, and hopefully he can continue to race. Big up Boca! Hopefully I can beat him on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, the Rapper Lucas F1 driver battle, or battle and rivalry. Will that continue? Do you think it will? I've got to ask you. Do you think it will? Rapper Lucas.
Preferably not in the style that took place in Bahrain. Preferably, but yeah, an on-track battle with F1 driver, great guy. Yeah, I'm always up for it.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, that works out. Sam Steed, we saw a great race today, and we saw kind of like Vettel and Leclerc a little bit with how that was with those guys, except the safety cars, obviously. We saw Vettel and Leclerc, where those guys were battling for the race lead, but not as much as the Vettel-Alonso one. You brought up a good point with that. Either way, thank you, Sam Steed, for joining us, and I'm actually going to go over to GSR in about like 20 minutes, a little less than that. So that's over on Twitch if you want to watch that. That's just in a little while.
Ooh, I want to race that.
Yeah, Tier 2 it is. GSR Tier 2, Partner League. I'll be streaming that in a little while. Either way, I'll be streaming that. And thank you guys for watching Tier 3 at Singapore. We'll see you tomorrow for Tier 2 and Tier 1 again under the lights. We will see you then. Thank you all for watching, and thank you for joining. We'll see you then.